On November 3, 2025, the city of Manila awoke to a wave of electrifying headlines. Manila seals historic deal. The news spread like wildfire, not just in the capital, but across the entire archipelago. For many, it was a moment that would be etched in memory. A day when the nation's story took a dramatic turn. The announcement was clear and bold. 40 state-of-the-art French patrol boats would soon be deployed to guard the West Philippine Sea. These vessels, gleaming and formidable, symbolized a new chapter in the country's maritime defense, a leap forward in both technology and resolve. In coffee shops from Lawag to Zamboanga, the air was thick with excitement. Animated conversations filled every corner as people, from all walks of life, debated, speculated, and celebrated. The news had become the heartbeat of the nation, uniting strangers in shared hope and pride. For years, Filipino fishermen had watched their own waters become a stage for intimidation and uncertainty. Foreign ships, often larger and more powerful, loomed on the horizon, casting long shadows over the livelihoods of countless coastal families. The sense of vulnerability was palpable, and the struggle for control felt never-ending. But this moment felt different, a turning point that sparked hope in even the most weathered hearts. For the first time in years, optimism replaced resignation. People exchanged firm handshakes and knowing glances, sensing that something fundamental had shifted. Social media platforms erupted in a rare display of unity. From Facebook to Twitter, Filipinos shared the news, posted their reactions, and rallied behind a common cause. The digital world became a mirror of the nation's collective spirit, amplifying every voice. The hashtag #NoAtenang West Philippine Sea trended for days, echoing across timelines and news feeds. It was more than just a slogan, it was a declaration of ownership, a rallying cry that resonated from the cities to the remotest islands. This wasn't just about acquiring new boats, it was about reclaiming dignity and standing tall after years of being pushed down. Families gathered by the shore, fishermen raised their fists in unity, and a sense of national pride swept through communities large and small. The government's message was unmistakable. The era of passive resistance was over. Officials spoke with newfound confidence, and the president addressed the nation with a firm, unwavering tone. The promise was clear: the Philippines would no longer stand idly by. In coastal towns like Palawan and Zambales, hope replaced anxiety. Smiles returned to faces that had long been marked by worry. Children played near fishing boats, their laughter mingling with the sound of waves, as parents looked on with renewed optimism for the future. Fishermen, once seen as symbols of struggle and endurance, now saw a real promise of protection. The dawn brought not just another day of work, but a sense of security that had been missing for far too long. The arrival of the new patrol boats meant that Filipino families would no longer have to face steel-hulled threats with only wooden boats and courage. The balance of power was shifting, and with it, the daily reality of those who depended on the sea. The announcement sent ripples not just through government halls but across the international community. Allies and rivals alike took notice, as the Philippines signaled its intent to defend its waters and its people with renewed vigor. It was a bold declaration of sovereignty, made not with bluster, but with quiet resolve. The flag waved proudly beside Navy ships, a symbol of determination and unity in the face of adversity. The Philippines was now asserting its rights under international law, but this time, it had the tools to back up its claims. Legal documents and maritime boundaries were no longer just words on paper, they were being enforced on the water. The deal with France was more than a transaction. It was a strategic move that diversified alliances and demonstrated a proactive approach to national security. It showed the world that the Philippines was ready to build bridges and strengthen partnerships for the sake of its people. The message was unmistakable. The Philippines is a maritime nation, proud of its heritage and ready to defend its future. From bustling ports to remote outposts, the spirit of guardianship was alive and growing. The horizon, once a source of anxiety and fear, now shimmered with hope. As the sun rose over calm waters, Filipinos gazed out to sea with a sense of possibility, daring to dream of a safer tomorrow. The nation was no longer content to simply watch and report incidents, it was preparing to act. Coast Guard crews trained with renewed purpose, readying themselves for the challenges ahead. A new era of active guardianship was about to begin. As the fleet of patrol boats sailed boldly into the open sea at dawn, the Philippines stepped forward, not just as a nation defending its waters, but as a people united in hope, dignity, and determination. For generations, Filipino fishermen like Mang Jun have ventured into the vast expanse of the West Philippine Sea, their lives intertwined with the tides and the promise of a daily catch. These men, often rising before dawn, have always relied on the sea to provide for their families, passing down skills and stories from father to son. But in recent years, they have faced a new and daunting challenge: intimidation from foreign ships, whose imposing presence disrupts the peace and routine of their work. Their humble wooden boats, crafted by hand and weathered by countless journeys, are dwarfed by the massive steel hulls of foreign Coast Guard vessels. Each encounter is a stark reminder of how vulnerable they are, their livelihoods threatened not just by the elements, but by forces far beyond their control. Every trip out to sea becomes a gamble. Will they return with a bountiful catch, a damaged boat, or, in the worst cases, not return at all? The uncertainty weighs heavily on their minds and on the hearts of their families waiting on shore. The sea, once a generous provider and a place of comfort, has become a source of anxiety and dread. The waves that once promised sustenance now carry the threat of confrontation and loss. In the quiet moments on the dock, their stories are shared in hushed tones, tales of close calls, of anger at being pushed from their own waters, and of resignation to a fate that seems increasingly out of their hands. The West Philippine Sea, once teeming with life and activity, now feels less like home and more like forbidden territory. Many fishing grounds lie deserted, abandoned out of fear and uncertainty. But then, a turning point: the announcement of 40 new patrol boats for the Philippine Coast Guard. This news rippled through fishing communities, igniting a spark of hope where there had been only despair. For Mang Jun, and thousands like him, these new patrol boats are more than just vessels. They are a lifeline, a promise that they are no longer alone in defending their right to fish and to live in peace. Now, as they set out to sea, there is comfort in knowing that a Filipino patrol boat could be just over the horizon, ready to intervene if trouble arises. The presence of these ships is a silent reassurance, a watchful eye that brings a sense of security. Fishermen talk excitedly of returning to once abandoned fishing grounds, their voices filled with optimism. Hope, once scarce, is now replacing fear, and the community feels a renewed sense of purpose. The new patrol boats are more than just hardware. They are a shield, a symbol that their government stands with them, and a message to the world that Filipino fishermen will not be left to face these challenges alone. This shift from fear to hope is perhaps the greatest impact of the agreement. It has brought back laughter, camaraderie, and a sense of pride to the fishing communities. In the end, it's not just about new ships or stronger patrols. It's about restoring dignity and respect to the true stewards of the sea, ensuring that their way of life endures for generations to come. The Manila-Paris Agreement is more than a purchase, it's a strategic partnership. 40 custom-built patrol boats designed for Philippine waters will transform the Coast Guard's reach. The deal includes training, technology transfer, and local shipbuilding, building not just boats, but capability. France becomes a key enabler, with much of the work happening in Philippine shipyards. This partnership aligns with both nations' commitment to a rules-based Indo-Pacific. To China, it signals resolve. To the world, it shows the Philippines is modernizing and upholding international law. The agreement is a new shield for national interests and regional stability. Traditionally allied with the US, the Philippines' deal with France marks a bold diversification. France, with Pacific territories and a stake in maritime norms, is a powerful new ally. This isn't about replacing old friends, but gaining new ones, and new leverage. The partnership brings advanced technology, diplomatic weight, and a broader coalition for maritime law. France's own Indo-Pacific interests make it a natural fit. The sight of French-designed, Philippine-manned vessels will symbolize a new era of empowered diplomacy. The Philippines is moving from client state to confident sovereign actor. This alliance is a testament to the nation's growing maturity on the world stage. 40 advanced patrol boats are a game-changer for the Philippine Coast Guard. For years, the PCG was outmatched. Now, it gains speed, endurance, and real-time surveillance. These vessels deter aggression, protect resources, and transform the PCG into proactive guardians. Beyond security, they're vital for disaster response, delivering aid, rescuing the stranded, and coordinating relief. The investment pays dividends in both national security and humanitarian missions. Morale soars as the Coast Guard finally has the tools to match its courage. These boats are more than steel. They're a vote of confidence in the PCG. The true guardians of the waves are ready. The new fleet boosts morale and security for all Filipinos, especially coastal communities. Fishermen feel safer, able to work without fear, improving their livelihoods. The sight of modern vessels flying the flag is a source of national pride and unity. Enhanced Coast Guard capabilities deter piracy, smuggling, and maritime threats. A secure maritime domain means a more stable nation and stronger international standing. The ripple effect, pride, safety, and sovereignty for generations. These boats are a legacy of hope. The Manila-Paris deal is a catalyst for local industry. Building patrol boats in Philippine shipyards creates thousands of skilled jobs and boosts the economy. Technology transfer from France upgrades local expertise and shipbuilding capacity. The supply chain benefits, fueling growth for small and medium enterprises. This investment fosters self-reliance, Filipinos building and maintaining their own fleet. It's a strategic vision, not just buying boats, but building a maritime future. The nation learns to build its own fishing rods, ensuring long-term security and prosperity. The journey isn't without hurdles. Sustained funding is crucial, not just for buying, but maintaining the fleet. Training a new generation of Coast Guard professionals is essential. Clear rules of engagement must balance firmness and restraint. Maintenance and logistics require robust infrastructure and skilled crews. Success depends on national will and strategic foresight. Overcoming these challenges will define the legacy of this historic deal. The era of passive protest is over. For years, the Philippines has watched from the shore, raising voices and banners, hoping for change. But now, a new chapter begins, one defined by action, not just words. 40 French patrol boats mark a new Philippine strategy, an active, vigilant presence in the West Philippine Sea. These vessels are not just machines. They are a statement of intent, a visible line drawn in the water. The nation is investing in real enforcement, not just words. New agreements, advanced technology, and rigorous training are transforming the Coast Guard into a force ready to defend the nation's interests. Continuous patrols will protect fishermen and resources, deterring aggression and ensuring that Filipino livelihoods are safeguarded. The sea is not just a boundary, it is a lifeline for millions. This is not about seeking conflict, but about credible deterrence. By showing strength and resolve, the Philippines aims to prevent escalation and maintain peace in its waters. The Philippines is taking charge of its destiny, building capacity and forging strong alliances. Through cooperation with allies and investment in its own people, the nation is preparing for whatever challenges may come. These vessels are symbols of awakening, sovereignty, and hope. Each patrol is a promise to the nation, a commitment to defend, to serve, and to inspire pride in every Filipino heart. The challenges are real, but unity and determination can overcome them. Every patrol, every mission is powered by the courage and solidarity of the Filipino people. The Philippines is charting a bold new course, one nautical mile at a time. Each journey forward is a step toward a more secure and independent future. The nation is no longer watching the tide, it's learning to command it. With resolve, unity, and vision, the Philippines is shaping its own destiny on the waves.